Not quite the Leonard Bowl because
No.
Penn retired, but oh my God, these are two good programs. Rochester
Yeah.
or Griffin. Are we looking at a de facto, this team can make a state championship, or how are you feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, don't want to shade Breeze Central and Cahokia on the top side. I went to played college football with Breeze Central's head coach Brian Short. He's run a great program. They've been in the quarters or semis the last few years. Uh, but this Rochester Sacred Heart Griffin game, I think, was one that both teams honestly wanted to avoid. They wanted to win out, but they didn't want to have to play each other again. There's a lot of friendships. It's a great rivalry. There, it is going to be a packed house at Rochester Saturday. I'm hoping I can make that game. Um, week 9 comes down to a 3-point game that SHG had a lead late and Rochester came back and won. But I think it is going to be a down to the wire matchup again. SHG's been a little banged up, honestly, but they've realized they've got a ton of depth. Rochester has just done what Rochester does and has put up a ton of points in a hurry in their first two round matchups.
These teams both have some younger guys, right? Like
Yeah.
Rochester's a younger team. I know Sacred Heart Griffin. They got upperclassmen, but a lot of juniors that are, heavily contributing. Um, when you look back at that 31-28 matchup, was that really just a coin flip? Like Rochester just made some bigger plays down the stretch?
I think so, and I think they made some adjustments defensively. The X factor in this game, I believe, is Cam Brinkman, the quarterback from SHG. He's their leading rusher. He's found maybe more targets in receiving his receiving core, maybe put more trust in him. He has really been the difference maker for them, I think, in the playoffs too. So if Rochester can maybe slow him down rushing the football or take away some of the big passing plays that they've had. I think that'll really determine who wins this football game. He's been great to watch all year.
Sacred Heart Griffin, they lost a couple games to end the regular season, but I mean, like Glenwood, you lose by
Yeah,
one, Rochester, you lose by three. So, like, when they're killing teams now, like Carterville, maybe some people think, oh, maybe they're playing better, doing something different. Are they still just the same good team? They were just
yeah,
maybe taking on inferior
they're the
opponents?
same great team. Losing right out of the gate to CBC. I don't know if there's maybe 5 teams in Illinois that could beat that CBC team. So you don't take too much stock in that. And then Chatham Glenwood game, there's probably a lot of Cyclone fans that felt like they gave that one away, and watching it back, they did. But Chatham Glenwood's a really, really good team. And then Rochester, that's another really, really good team. They've played really well. They've just lost to 3 really great football teams.
What do you kind of picture? What kind of game is this? Because I know Rochester, not every game is like 60 points. Like
Yeah.
I think about that Braves game when they took on JC Anderson and Jacob Harvey, like that's 28-24. Even the Sacred Heart Griffin game, I mean, 31-28 is a pretty normal score.
Yes.
Are you kind of picturing just a similar game in that ballpark?
Yeah, I actually think that this one might be in the low 20s. I think maybe like a 24-21 or 24-20 type game because it's a rivalry, and we saw that with Unity Monticello. You get these rivalry games, the teams that have played each other already once this year, those are always low scoring games. And both teams have really good defenses that probably don't get talked about enough just because of what they do offensively. But I think it'll be in the low 20s, whoever wins this game.
I just want to pick your brain about the historical significance of this matchup, like the Leonard Bowl. I mean,
Yeah,
father versus son. What was the juice like back in the day? Because when you talk to them, they hated playing each other.
they hated it. They hated it. Their families hated it. Everybody else in Sangamon County, Central Illinois, maybe even the state of Illinois loved it because you had a team like Sacred Heart Griffin for as long as I can remember has been the upper echelon of football in this area. It was SHG, and then it was kind of everybody else below them. And then as Rochester started football and started gaining traction, Derek Leonard comes in and he flips the program in within 2, 3 years to where they are now state contenders. First time at Leonard Bowl, he beats his dad, and then they've gone back and forth. They've had tremendous matchups. We were fortunate enough to be there for Friday Night Showdown when Ken broke the all-time wins record against his son. And that was a spectacle in itself. But I know Derek and Ken hated it. And I get it. And I think one of the reasons Ken got out of coaching was he didn't want to have to coach against his grandson. And how many guys in coaching nationally can ever say that? Um, it's a special relationship. They're 15 minutes apart from each other. There might be some kids that went to grade school or elementary school with each other that now have to play against one another. It's a they're both very football, centric places too. Got other great sports, but I think football has been the focus of both these communities for the last 10 to 15 years, especially in Rochester. Um, it's special. They're very passionate too. And even with Ken being gone now, that matchup is still one that both places circle on the schedule when it comes out.
I just think Derek's career is so fascinating because you think about like, there's some coaches where, they just coach their dad, then they eventually inherit the program. Like you read reports, like there's been college programs interested in seeing like if Derek would want to take a college job. Just what has been most interesting while following his career, it seems like he's pretty devoted to Rochester and just kind of becoming probably the all-time wins leader someday.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a lot like his dad in that regard. His dad probably could have went to a college level, to maybe even the Chicago bigger high school levels, and never did. He wanted to make Sacred Heart Griffin his home, and that's how Derek's a Central Illinois guy. And I had the pleasure of watching him play in high school. I watched him play at Illinois College because my sister was in college the same time he played over there, and hearing stories about him drawing up plays in the huddle after it came in from the sideline. The way his mind works offensively and the way he could think of things just on the fly is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. He's so creative in what he can do, and he's got a lot of great assistants that help. And he might throw out a crazy idea, and then they all can come together and make it work. But I don't think he'll ever, if he ever left Rochester, I would be shocked. I know he loves the community, he loves being there. His kids are now, his son's a freshman. He's got another one that's a fifth or sixth grader. So I would be shocked if he ever left Rochester.
Just real quick, because Ken was a little before my time. Because like Derek's like Kirk Snetti, like took over a program like Indiana was nothing before, and then all of a sudden they're
Yeah.
like superpowers. And you talk about his offensive capabilities, like they were scoring an insane amount of points. Was Ken also like an offensive mastermind, or was he like a smash mouth guy? Like what was Sacred Griffin doing back in the day?
So he was one of the first early adopters of turning into a spread program. They were very traditional, power football, come right at you, and just had so many tough guys and killer athletes. I mean, when I was in high school, they had Kenny Burns, who went to Indiana and played, and Eric Peterman, who eventually played for the Bears at quarterback. And they're very smash mouth. And then all of a sudden, they switched to the spread offense, and that's when he got his first two state titles. And then they were almost people went to them for advice on how to switch their program from an option program to this spread offense. And then he became kind of, we make jokes, he's like the godfather of Central Illinois football because he went out and said, you know what, I'm gonna switch to the spread. And I don't know if coaches like him who had been doing it he had been coaching for probably 25 years at that point, 20 years, and said, I'm gonna completely abandon everything I've ever done and go to this new style of offense, and this is going to be what we do. Just the insight of how the game's changing, the confidence you have in yourself and your other coaches to do it, and to get his kids to buy into it was amazing.
He wants to win.
Yeah, he
A
wants
lot
to win.
of great coaches
Absolutely.
adapt.
Yeah.
And Rochester and Sacred Griffin both want to win on Saturday. Adam, this might be the toughest pick, but Who's winning this football game?
I'm gonna go Rochester. It's hard to bet against Derek Leonard at any point, especially in November. Um, with seeing them play a few times, once in person and then on some film, with both teams, I still think Rochester is a little bit better of a football team, and I'm sure I'll get some Cyclone hate on that, and that's fine. I completely bring it to me, but I think Rochester's a little bit better.
And I just want to put out a disclaimer, like these are not easy games to pick. I
No.
don't want to be in your position. I'm going to be honest.
Not at all. So I
Like,
appreciate you
like
putting me in that position.
I'm sorry. You got to get ratings, Adam.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but like a lot of these games are like such quaint. Like these are both really good teams. It's like
Mhm.
Unity Williamsville and oh my God, Westville Arthur. Like these are both undefeated teams. So it's not that like one team's worse. It's just you
No, yeah,
gotta pick
it's tough.
somebody, and this is the fun
Yeah.
time.
Somebody's got to win. And you hate that a great team might go home earlier than they're
Wow.
supposed to, but it's what's on the scoreboard that matters.
All right, Adam. Just want to say appreciate it. I hope you have a
Yeah.
fun time this weekend following the high school games.
I every weekend's fun in November, so I appreciate you letting me come on.
No problem.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to watch more videos from News Channel 20.